Hey everyone, and welcome back to Second Act First Date. Over
Sure.
40 and awkward.
Over 40 and awkward.
That's us.
That is us.
This is episode number 10. And, dating after 50.
Oh, yeah.
That's kind of like that vintage wine you've been saving.
Ooh.
Complex, a
Ah.
little unpredictable, and definitely worth savoring.
Mm-hmm.
You, dear listener, are ready to uncork that bottle and get back in the game.
Yes, you are.
And to help you navigate this exciting new terrain,
Ooh, new terrain.
you shared an article with us that's bursting with tips.
Oh, fun.
From online dating and first date jitters to finding love through shared interests.
Yes.
And get this,
What?
it even touches on the delicate dance of blended families.
Oh, wow.
To help us unpack all of this, we have our amazing relationship expert here with us.
I'm happy to be here.
Right.
Let's be honest, dating after 50 is a whole different ballgame.
It is?
You've got the wisdom of experience, you know what you want,
Right.
and what you definitely don't want.
Exactly.
And hopefully you've learned a thing or two about yourself along the way. It's fascinating how the dating landscape has evolved to embrace this stage of life.
Okay, so let's dive right into this new landscape.
Let's do it.
The article talks about how much society's views on love and relationships have shifted.
Yeah,
And frankly, it's about time.
absolutely. The old stereotypes about finding love later in life are out the window.
Mhm.
We're living longer, our priorities are changing, and online dating has blown the doors wide open.
It really has.
Think about it. You're no longer limited to that awkward setup
Oh, gosh.
by a well-meaning friend or bumping into someone at the grocery store.
Right.
You have access to a whole community of people who are in the same chapter of life,
Yeah.
looking for connection and companionship.
I like that.
Yeah.
Speaking of online dating, the article dives into some really interesting tips for success.
Mm-hmm.
But before we even get there,
Okay.
it emphasizes something I think is so important at this stage of life.
What's that?
Self-confidence.
Oh, yeah.
Why do you think that's so crucial, especially after 50?
Imagine this. You walk into a room, head held high, a smile on your face,
Okay.
radiating this aura of, I'm comfortable in my own skin and I'm excited to see what life has to offer.
I love that.
That's the kind of energy that attracts people, whether you're looking for love or just making new friends.
Yeah.
And after 50, you've earned the right to feel confident.
Yes, you have.
You've lived a life, made choices, experienced joys and heartbreaks.
Absolutely.
All of that has shaped you into the amazing person you are today.
I love that it's not about pretending to be someone you're not.
No.
It's about embracing all those wrinkles, laugh lines, and life lessons.
Yes, all of it.
But how do we actually boost that self-confidence?
Mm.
The article mentions self-discovery,
Yeah.
and I'm curious to hear your take on that.
Self-discovery is like that treasure hunt you always dreamed of as a kid.
Okay.
But this time the treasure is you.
Ooh.
And trust me, this is one treasure worth digging for.
Mhm.
It's about reconnecting with those things that light you up, those passions you might have put on hold while juggling careers, families, and all the other things. Life throws your way.
Yeah.
Maybe it's time to dust off that easel,
Okay.
join that book club you've been eyeing, or finally take that salsa class.
Okay, I have to admit the salsa class sounds tempting.
It does.
But here's where things get really interesting.
Ooh.
The article talks about knowing what you want in a relationship before you even dip your toe back into the dating pool.
Mm-hmm.
And honestly, this is something I wish I had done years ago.
Yeah.
It's like deciding what kind of vacation you want before you book the flight.
Okay, I like that.
Are you looking for a relaxing beach getaway,
Yeah.
a thrilling adventure, or a cultural immersion experience?
It's a great analogy, and it's especially important after 50 because you're not just looking for someone to fill a void.
Right.
You're looking for someone who complements your life.
Yeah,
Someone who shares your values and vision for the future.
I like that.
So before you even think about creating an online dating profile or saying yes to that blind date, take some time to reflect.
Good.
What are your non-negotiables?
Her.
What kind of companionship are you seeking?
Yeah,
Are you open to a serious commitment, or are you more interested in casual dating?
that's a great point. Knowing what you want can save you a lot of time and heartache down the road.
Absolutely.
But let's be real, dating after 50 can be daunting, even if you know exactly what you're looking for.
It can be.
That's why we're here,
Yeah,
to help you navigate this new landscape with confidence and a sense of adventure.
absolutely.
For even more great tips and advice,
Yes.
don't forget to visit us at secondactfirstdatepodcast.com.
Good stuff over there.
Now let's talk about the elephant in the room,
Ooh, what's that?
online dating.
All right, let's do it. It's not just for the younger generation anymore.
It's not.
In fact, dating platforms are becoming increasingly popular among the over 50 crowd.
They are.
And for good reason, they offer a way to connect with people you might never have met otherwise.
Right.
And they allow you to be upfront about what you're looking for in a partner.
Okay, so you've done some soul searching, you're feeling confident, and you're ready to embrace this brave new world of online dating.
All right, good for you.
But how do you choose the right platform?
Ah,
There are so many options out there. It can feel overwhelming.
it can.
Any tips on what to look for?
It's like finding the right neighborhood, you know? No, some are bustling with activity, others are quieter and more intimate.
Mhm.
You want to find a platform that feels comfortable
Right.
and aligns with your values and dating goals.
Okay.
Do some research,
Mm.
read reviews,
Okay.
maybe even ask friends for recommendations.
Good idea.
And pay attention to the features offered.
Okay.
Some sites prioritize detailed personality matching, which can be really helpful at this stage of life.
It can.
You're not just swiping based on looks anymore.
Right.
You're looking for someone who shares your interests, your sense of humor, and your outlook on life.
You know, I've heard some people say they feel like online dating turns people into a commodity. Like, it's all about marketing yourself and presenting a perfect picture.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on that?
It's true that online dating can feel a bit like stepping into a shop window sometimes.
Okay.
But here's the thing. You get to choose what you put on display.
You do?
And the best profiles are the ones that are genuine and authentic.
Hmm.
Think of it this way. You're not trying to be the flashiest product on the shelf.
Right.
You're inviting someone to get to know the real you,
Exactly.
quirks and all.
I like that. And that brings us to the next big hurdle,
What's that?
creating that all-important profile.
Ooh.
Any tips on making yours stand out from the crowd?
Honesty is your secret weapon.
Okay.
Use recent photos,
Okay.
ones that reflect who you are today,
Right.
not who you were 10 years ago.
Okay.
Embrace those laugh lines. They tell a story.
They do.
And be upfront about your interests, what you're looking for, and what makes you tick.
Okay, so it's really about being authentic. Yeah. And I think it's also important to remember that you're not just looking for someone who checks all your boxes.
No.
You're looking for someone who sparks your curiosity,
Yes.
someone who makes you laugh, someone who challenges you to grow.
I like that.
And that's where the art of conversation comes in.
Speaking of conversation,
Yes?
let's talk about those first date jitters.
Oh, yeah.
Because, let's be honest,
Hmm,
they don't magically disappear after 50.
they don't.
In fact, they might even intensify a bit.
Oh, no.
You're not just trying to make a good impression.
Right.
You're navigating decades of life experience, past relationships, and maybe even some baggage.
You're bringing up a point the article actually addresses.
Oh, yeah.
Choosing the right setting for that first date.
Okay.
What are your thoughts on that?
Think about it this way.
Okay.
You wouldn't go on a job interview in a noisy nightclub, would you?
That's a good point now.
You want a setting that's conducive to conversation,
Right.
where you can relax, be yourself, and really get to know the other person. A cozy coffee shop,
Mhm.
a park bench with a view,
Okay.
even a museum if you both share a love of art.
I like that.
These are all great options.
Yeah.
And remember, it's not about impressing the other person with a fancy restaurant or an elaborate activity.
Right.
It's about creating a space where genuine connection can happen.
Like the article says, focus
Mhm.
on connection, not perfection.
Ah, I like that.
And speaking of connection,
Yes.
there's one thing that's absolutely crucial at any age, but maybe even more so after 50.
What's that?
Open and honest communication.
Oh, that's so important.
Why do you think that's so important?
At this stage of life, communication goes beyond just sharing your favorite color
Well-
or what you had for dinner.
Okay.
It's about vulnerability,
Mhm.
sharing your hopes and fears, your dreams for the future.
Yeah.
And yes, even those past experiences that have shaped who you are today.
Right.
It's about truly listening to the other person, not just waiting for your turn to speak, but trying to understand their perspective, their values, and their journey.
You know, that reminds me of something I read recently
Oh, yeah.
about the importance of asking open-ended questions on dates.
Yes.
It's not just about finding out facts about the other person.
Right.
It's about encouraging them to share their stories, their thoughts, their feelings.
Exactly. And it's about being willing to share your own vulnerabilities as well.
Okay.
Think about it. We're all a bit messy. We all have our scars.
Yeah.
But that's what makes us interesting, relatable, and ultimately human.
I love that it's not about presenting a perfect facade. It's about being real, being authentic.
Yes.
And I think that leads us to another challenge the article mentions,
Oh, it's that.
overcoming the fear of rejection.
Yeah.
It's something we all face,
Yeah.
but I think it can feel even more intense after 50.
It can. And let's be real, putting yourself out there is always a risk.
It is.
No matter your age, but after 50,
Yeah.
you might have experienced more loss,
Right.
more heartbreak, more disappointments.
Yeah. And that can make the idea of rejection feel even more daunting.
It can almost feel like you're risking more
Yeah.
than you did in your younger years, like you have more to lose.
I understand that feeling.
Okay.
But here's the thing. The more we hold back for fear of getting hurt, the more we miss out on the possibility of something truly amazing.
That is true.
It's like that saying,
Yeah.
you can't win the lottery if you don't buy a ticket.
Okay, so we've got to buy the ticket.
Yes.
But how do we deal with the possibility of losing? How do we handle rejection in a way that doesn't shatter our self-confidence?
First of all, remember that rejection is not a reflection of your worth.
Okay.
It just means that particular person wasn't the right fit.
Right.
And that's okay. It's actually a good thing. Think of it this way.
How?
Every no gets you closer to a yes.
I like that.
And the more you reframe rejection as a redirection,
Okay.
the less power it will have over you.
It's like closing one door to open another, right?
Exactly.
But that's easier said than done.
When you're feeling hurt and disappointed.
Absolutely. That's why it's so important to develop coping mechanisms.
Okay.
For those inevitable setbacks, talk to a trusted friend.
Okay.
Journal your feelings, practice self-care,
Yeah.
or even seek professional support if you need it.
Right.
And remember, you're not alone in this.
Mhm.
We all go through these ups and downs, and the more we talk about it,
Yeah.
the less stigma there is around rejection,
Right.
and the more we can support each other.
Speaking of support,
Yes.
let's talk about something that can be both a challenge and a source of strength.
Okay.
Navigating relationships with adult children, especially if you're considering bringing a new partner into the picture.
Yeah.
The article touches on the complexities of blended families.
It does.
And I think it's a topic a lot of our listeners can relate to.
It definitely is. It's a unique dynamic.
It is.
And it requires open and honest communication, not just with your potential partner, but also with your children.
Yeah.
Remember, they've been through their own journeys. They have their own perspectives, and their feelings are valid.
They are.
It's about finding a balance
Okay.
between honoring your own needs and being sensitive to theirs.
So how do we do that? How do we find that balance, especially when everyone is adjusting to this new reality?
Start by setting clear expectations and boundaries.
Okay.
Talk to your children about what this new relationship means to you,
Mm-hmm.
what your hopes are, and how you envision it impacting their lives.
Right.
And be prepared to listen to their concerns, their fear, and their excitement as well.
Yeah.
Remember, this is a transition for everyone involved,
It is.
and it takes time, patience, and a lot of empathy
Yeah.
to create a new sense of family.
It's like you're not just merging two lives, you're merging two families, two histories, two sets of traditions.
That's a great way to put it, and it's important to acknowledge that it won't always be smooth sailing.
Right.
There will be bumps along the road, misunderstandings, maybe even some conflict. But if you approach these challenges with open communication, respect, and a willingness to compromise, you can create a blended family that feels loving, supportive, and ultimately like home.
You've given so much to think about.
Well, we're just getting started.
I'm sure our listener is feeling inspired and ready to take on this next chapter with confidence and a sense of adventure.
I hope so.
And for even more tips and inspiration,
Yeah.
be sure to visit secondactfirstdatepodcast.com.
It's a great resource.
We have a wealth of resources, articles, and even a community forum
Oh, wow.
where you can connect with other people who are navigating the world of dating after 50.
That's wonderful. Absolutely. Remember, you're not alone on this journey.
We're not.
And the more we talk about these challenges, the more we share our stories, the more we support each other,
Yes.
the easier and more enjoyable the journey becomes.
That's such a great point.
Right.
We're all in this together, and on that note,
Okay.
we're going to take a quick pause to gather our thoughts and prepare for the final leg of our deep dive into dating after 50.
All right. Sounds good.
Stay tuned. Welcome back to First Date. We're wrapping up our deep dive into dating after 50, and before we let our listener go,
Yeah.
I want to touch on something the article mentions that really resonated with me.
Okay.
The idea that dating after 50
Mm-hmm.
isn't always a linear path.
Right.
It's more like a scenic route with unexpected detours, breathtaking views,
Yeah.
and maybe even a few potholes along the way.
Oh, that's a great way to put it. You're not just starting a new relationship, you're integrating that relationship
Right.
into a life that's already rich with experiences, relationships, and maybe even some baggage.
Sure.
And that requires a certain level of adaptability.
So how do we cultivate that adaptability?
Yeah.
How do we embrace the unexpected twists and turns without losing sight of what we want?
It starts with being open to new ways of relating, new ways of communicating, new ways of building a connection. It's about understanding
Okay.
that your partner's past experiences have shaped them, just as yours have shaped you. And sometimes that means letting go of old patterns and embracing new possibilities.
You know, one of the things that often comes up for people dating after 50
Yeah.
is the question of independence versus companionship.
Ooh, good word.
It's like you spent years building a life you love, establishing your routines, your interests, your sense of self.
Mm-hmm.
How do you merge that with another person without losing yourself in the process?
It's a delicate dance, isn't it? And
Yeah.
there's no one-size-fits-all answer.
Right.
But I think the key is communication,
Okay.
both with yourself and with your partner.
Yeah.
It's about being honest about your needs, your boundaries,
Mm-hmm.
and what you're willing to compromise on.
Okay.
And it's about listening to your partner's needs as well.
Right.
Finding that sweet spot where you can both feel fulfilled as individuals and as a couple.
It's like you're creating a new ecosystem, right?
Ooh, I like that.
Two individual plants coming together to create something beautiful and unique,
Yeah.
but still honoring their own roots and branches.
I love that analogy. And remember, like any garden, our relationship requires tending.
It does.
It needs nurturing, communication, and sometimes a little pruning to keep it healthy and thriving.
So true. It's not about finding someone to complete you. It's about finding someone who complements you,
Yes.
who adds to your life in a way that feels joyful and enriching.
Beautifully said. And as you embark on this journey of dating after 50,
Mm-hmm.
remember to be kind to yourself.
Yeah,
It's okay to feel nervous. It's okay to make mistakes. It's okay to take your time.
it is.
This isn't a race. It's a journey of self-discovery and connection.
I love that it's about embracing the process, the ups and downs, the unexpected detours,
Yeah,
and the moments of pure joy.
absolutely.
And for anyone feeling a bit overwhelmed or unsure where to start,
Yeah,
we have a wealth of resources on our website, secondactfirstdatepodcast.com.
that's a great resource.
You'll find articles, tips, and even a community forum where you can connect with others who are navigating the world of dating after 50.
That's fantastic. We're here to support you every step of the way. Remember, you're not alone in this. And the more we talk about these challenges, the more we share our stories, the more we normalize the experience of dating later in life.
Right.
The easier and more enjoyable it becomes for everyone.
So true. It's like we're all part of this amazing, ever-evolving tapestry of love, connection, and second chances. And on that note,
Okay.
we want to thank you, dear listener, for joining us on this deep dive into dating after 50.
Yes, thank you.
We hope you've gleaned some valuable insights, a few laughs, and maybe even a renewed sense of hope and excitement about the possibilities that lie ahead.
Remember, you are worthy of love, connection, and happiness. And the journey starts with taking that first step.
That's right. Take that first step, trust your instincts, and embrace the adventure. And until next time, thanks for listening to the Second Act First Date. Over 40 an awkward podcast